Welcome back to the Gentleman's Gazette. In today's video, we're going to sock it to you with 7 types of socks that every gentleman should have in their wardrobe. Nowadays, socks are one of the most underutilized garments in classic menswear, often purchased in cheap bulk packs with boring colors. But we're here to help you employ socks to their full potential, so you too can add versatility to your shoes and trousers, and create unique visual interest, all within the realm of timeless classic style. As it happens, socks are one of 10 things we think vintage gentlemen just did better. But before we share the sock types that we consider essential purchases, let's first take a look at what you ought to be looking for in your socks. If you think about the worst experiences you've had with socks, they probably relate to feeling hot, sweaty, or even itchy. These symptoms of subpar socks are usually a result of materials. Socks made from natural materials like silk, cotton, and cashmere are light and breathable, like the silk and Egyptian 2-ply cotton used by Fort Belvedere. Synthetics like nylon, rayon, and polyester should never be used for the sock body, which is unfortunately often the case with blended socks. Natural materials keep your feet feeling light and breezy, not to mention how much better it is for your foot health to avoid that damp, clingy sweat that causes odor and fungus. Over-the-calf excellence. How to keep socks from sliding down is a perennial question in menswear.
Ultimately, I don't think they'll stay up.
No, they'll stay up.
For a while, yes, but not in the long run.
And no, the solution is most definitely not using sock garters. Instead, the secret is socks that reach over the calf and perfectly fit your foot. By sitting over the calf, the sock will sit as naturally and securely as possible, while proper sizing throughout ensures that the sock moves with your foot and leg properly, so there's no pulling and resultant slippage. Quality construction. Usually, quality-made socks will have the aforementioned traits and make it a joy to wear and handle wear and tear. Another benefit of quality workmanship? Hand finishing. The toe sections on most socks are sewn by machine. This leaves a rough, noticeable seam that can irritate your toes. High-end socks like those offered by Fort Belvedere are finished by hand, meaning that dedicated craftsmen can link the toe section without including that irritating, itchy seam. Strength and numbers. Although usually protected by your shoes, socks are hard-wearing articles of clothing that really take a beating, especially if you're prone to sliding around on wooden floors. Like shoes, socks last longer when they can be rotated to avoid repetitive damage. Therefore, buying multiple pairs will help all of your socks last longer, as each individual sock will have more time to rest between wearing and washing. We know it can be tempting to buy cheaper socks, but it seems like they're such a good deal. But for an in-depth analysis of why you're better off in the long term with a quality sock, here's Raphael explaining the differences between a pair of $4 and $40 socks. With the basics out of the way, let's consider some socks. Starting with socks that pair with common trouser colors. Socks that pair with blue. Few colors are more common in menswear than blue. But rather than wearing completely solid blue socks, which can look either too bland or too bold, we suggest wearing two-tone solids, which feature alternating threads of 2 different colors, producing a subtle color effect that isn't overwhelming but is still visually interesting. To ensure you match whatever shade of blue you're wearing, consider light and midnight blue two-tone socks. They'll subtly pick up the blue of your trousers without blending in because of the two tones. Alternatively, if you prefer more contrast, consider orange and navy blue. The navy tones down the vibrancy of the orange without dulling it, and the orange sets off brown shoes beautifully. Clocks are a classic menswear design that help break up the uniformity of a sock without being distracting. To leverage this adaptability, we suggest that you purchase a pair of blue socks with contrasting clocks. Navy with white and blue clocks is an excellent choice because it can be easily dressed up or down. But a more vibrant blue with red and white clocks is a great choice if you prefer more pop, and that still works with multiple outfits. It will build a bridge between blue trousers and red-toned shoes. Stripes, especially subtle shadow stripes, allow for the introduction of both color and a unique pattern. For more formal occasions, you want to keep things in check with a muted color palette, like gray and Prussian blue, a refined combination that can ground more colorful shoes and trousers. And if you want your socks to be bold, let's try burgundy. What pairs with burgundy? Well, if we're talking about a Pinot Noir or a Pecorino, no, wait, we mean the color burgundy, not wines from Burgundy. So let's pair gray with burgundy for an unforgettable look that commands attention. Ugh, now I'm sure I've made everybody hungry for wine and cheese. Socks that pair with gray. Next to blue, gray is one of the most common trouser colors. For two-tone socks, we recommend a foundational pairing of gray-blue and Prussian blue. With a livelier ensemble, they help all of your other colors shine. With a more muted look, they prevent the dividing line between your sock and trouser from appearing muddy or boring. Now, if you require something more sedate, a charcoal gray melange will guarantee gravitas no matter what you're wearing. For our next pair of socks, we're going to continue with a monochromatic theme. Let's pair a medium gray with a light gray. But to keep things interesting, we're going to add in clocks. The dignified two tones of gray ensure that these socks are serious enough for business wear or any other formal occasion, and they can also dress up more casual trousers like slacks. So these socks are great for formal occasions, or adding an elegant air of formality to any occasion. Unlike gray skies, we can't get enough of gray socks. Pink may seem a little wild for most ensembles, but it's actually a perfect complement to a pair of gray trousers, especially when paired with stripes in gray. The pink brightens up darker gray trousers, and the gray helps blend pink seamlessly with lighter gray trousers. The result? You're able to integrate a unique color like pink into your wardrobe without it looking overbearing. As an equally unique alternative to pink, consider gray and turquoise. Socks that pair with brown. Brown is one of the most underrated colors in menswear, and trousers are an easy way to start introducing this color into your wardrobe. Finding the right socks will ensure that you unlock the full potential of this incredible earth tone. To maintain a grounded atmosphere, let's start with a two-tone sock that will work with any brown trouser, khaki and dark red. At a distance, this sock looks like a rich, uniform brown, but the reds provide just enough contrast to warm up the browns. They also emphasize any warm color details within the outfit. To really turn up the heat, let's make red the primary color with two-tone burgundy and bordeaux. Okay, no wine jokes this time, it's not happy hour yet. Deep reds like burgundy are traditionally very versatile in menswear, and these socks are no different. Not only will these socks add new life to any shade of brown trousers, they will even work with a variety of textures, from chinos to corduroys. Of course, we can't ignore one of the most classic pairings, dark green and brown. First, we'll look at a fair neutral offering, mid-brown with green and cream clocks. On its face, this is a very conservative, no-nonsense look. This could be exactly what you're looking for if you want a very tranquil, earth-toned ensemble. But these socks can be the perfect transition from brown trousers to cognac or oxblood shoes, and can really give your lower half a zing. For something with more pop, consider an underutilized pairing of brown and blue. Now, this is definitely a very bold look, but it could be just the thing to add a little pep in your step when you're stepping out in brown. But if it's just a little too much pep, and navy blue might be more your speed. Stripes provide the perfect middle ground between brown's neutrality and its vibrancy. First, we'll return to our aforementioned pairing of mid-brown and green. Red or blue can brighten brown, but green makes any shade of brown come alive. This particular shade of green is also quite rare in menswear, so it adds an element of visual interest, proving that brown isn't drab, it's fab. Fun socks. When we say fun socks, we don't want to kill the mood by getting too technical or precise with you. So we're inclined to say that fun socks are any socks that make you feel like having fun. Think about the kind of socks you'd like to wear on a casual outing or even a beach wedding, or good times with friends outdoors, like a springtime garden party with croquet, and lawn tennis, or even a barbecue by the pool with a cool beverage. So you see, fun socks can assume many forms, from traditionally patterned socks and unique and interesting colors, to tasteful patterns and repeating designs. Of course, bear in mind it is possible to have too much fun, and your fun socks might veer outside the realm of classic menswear. Need help walking that particular tightrope in your socks? Raphael will help you determine if you can pull off, or if you should pull off, socks like these in this video here. Athletic socks. Don't worry, we haven't changed our mind about wearing gym socks with dress shoes. You still shouldn't do that. Seriously, don't do that. But there is a time and a place for athletic socks, being the gym or wherever you exercise, which is also not the place for dress socks. Dress socks were not designed for the high-impact wear of exercising. So if you wear dress socks while working out, you'll soon be wearing a hole in your socks. Now, when purchasing athletic socks, make your selection based on your activity. Basketball calls for very different socks than hiking. But as with dress socks, we suggest favoring brands that are sized, use natural fibers in the body, and are well constructed. This will give you a much better cost per wear ratio than those cheap white socks that you can usually buy by the pound. How did they ever fit 20 socks in here? No-show socks. When the temperature starts rising and you start to want to break out those summer shoes, the question soon becomes, to sock or not to sock? Casual summer shoes like loafers or boat shoes can be worn barefoot. But what if you want to rock the sockless look with other types of shoes? Or you don't like the idea of your bare feet touching and rubbing against the insides of your shoes? Thankfully, there is a solution in the form of no-show socks, which have been specially designed with a low profile that should be completely covered by the shoe. No-show socks offer clean lines and complete aeration of the rest of your leg, while protecting the interior of your shoe from sweat. When buying these socks, look for products with good elasticity so that they will not slide down into your shoe. The deep heel pocket also allows for a better fit without so much reliance on elastics. To simulate the feel and breeziness of going barefoot, we suggest the body be made of durable and thin natural fibers with a seamless toe. No-show socks work best with casual looks, rolled cuff trousers, and even shorts, and our preferred way to enjoy all the benefits of going barefoot in our shoes without the drawbacks. Barefoot in our shoes. It's a weird thing to say. Black silk socks. Let's jump over for a moment to the opposite end of the formality spectrum and take a look at formal evening socks. The key to successfully pulling off a formal ensemble is paying attention to every detail, and that includes from tip to toe. And we mean toe. Don't spoil the look of your evening shoes by pairing them with inappropriate, thick black day socks. Instead, pair them with evening socks made from the appropriate materials, like silk and a refined weave. Like every other aspect of formal wear, socks have evolved to achieve a particular look. They should have a marvelous sheen, typical of fine silk, a subtle pattern to the weave, and an ideal fit that never sags or crumples. Perfecting these elements is very hard to do, and to achieve it, Fort Belvedere had to seek out the best Italian sock makers, working with rare 280 needle machines, sourcing quality silk, augmented with high quality cotton. The result, a product that we are proud to call, without exaggeration, the best socks in the world. Give them a try, and we suspect that you'll soon love your socks just as much as these guys do. Hopefully this video has inspired you to check out your sock drawer and to ensure that you have everything that you need to start your outfits out on the right foot. What socks do you consider essential? Let us know in the comments below. And if you still haven't gotten your sock fix, you can check out more in our dedicated sock guide. What socks am I wearing today? Let's find out. So today I'm wearing a oatmeal colored polo from Ralph Lauren, navy blue trousers, brown dress shoes, finished off with a blue and brown shadow striped sock from Fort Belvedere. Check out the Fort Belvedere shop here for socks like these.